Hello, and welcome to another episode of... Nope, I was about to say the Great Gnomish Bake Off. It's not the Great Gnomish Bake Off. We are about to do the Great Gnomish Bake Off. All right, let's try it again. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Flavorcity, the Breakers of Chains. I am Ben, your Dungeon Master for this adventure, and we are going to run around here real quick to get to know our party once again, I guess, because we do this every week. So we're going to start down here with Andrea.
Hello, everybody. I'm Andrea, and I am playing Bulford Angus Cattleman. I am your Minotaur monk.
Amazing. Over to Gingy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gingy. I'm playing Charles Lamont Ribadou, who is the druid who casts spells, even though he can shapeshift arguably better.
Amazing. And finally down to Charlie.
Hey y'all, I'm Charlie. I'm playing Melis Orpington Naget, your half-elf ranger. Let's get this bread.
Fantastic. Ooh, didn't mean to throw that. So, last we left off, the party had freed Gordon of the Ram's Head from his large Wellingtonian prison that his goo demon minions had built for him in the center of the Nine Hells kitchen. He gave them one of these legendary utensils that they have been looking for that is now around the shoulders of our good friend Charles here. They then snuck their way through the city, kind of inexplicably, past all of the drones, essentially. They ran into a couple of them, took them out pretty easily. They currently have a couple of these cores that are just like these gem rocks that Bulford is well convinced are a good alert system for the drones that make this relatively loud buzzing noise wherever they go, but, you know, we're not going to tell them anything else. As I said, they snuck their way through the city, kind of inexplicably, avoiding the majority of these drones. They made their way over to the range, which is sort of the sweets dessert section of the city, where we had a brief pause because Charles became a mouse god, essentially, very briefly. Before they decided to continue, they made their way through the streets of these multi-leveled, layered, painted in different colors buildings with the scaffolding around the outside that allowed you to get up to these other layers because each of them was its own storefront, passing, of course, several of these mega chains that are suspended above the street, hanging onto the top of each of these buildings, casting these really, really weird sort of shadows down onto the ground below, where they eventually made their way to a large open field in the middle of the city, sort of like a Central Park kind of thing. And in the center of that was this large white tent. They made their way over to it. We cheerleader through Charles and Melis over the fence, and then Bulford proceeded to barrel through it at full speed. Then they were met at the doorway to the tent flap, by a relatively tall, thin, robotic man with a large golden mustache that stuck a good 4 inches off the side of his face on either side. He asked them for their weapons. They gave him everything that they considered to be a weapon, and were let into the tent with the welcome to the Great Gnomish Bake Off. And that is where we pick up. So, you guys have just entered the tent. As you walk in, you sort of stop for a second, adjust to everything that's going on around you. You take a look. There are 12 counters laid out in rows through the center of the tent. Over on the far end, there is a small stage area with this large sort of cage sitting on it. But standing behind 8 of the different counters right now are 7 different robotic, all-form robotic individuals, and there is one actual person standing back there. And as you walk in and take this in, you hear this sort of like ping sound, and then there's a as the human person opens the oven and a fireball spits out of it into their face, and then the tall man with the golden mustache from behind you says, "Oh dear, well, seems that contestant has been eliminated. And a couple of smaller, sort of like little buggy robots drive out and drag the guy away. He steps forward in front of you and says, "We have new contestants. Would you please each choose a station, and we will begin refilling the empty stations." So,
All right.
Poor guy. Shit. All right.
so you guys are welcome to either compete as a team, compete as individuals, however you want to do it. You get the sense that you're gonna need to make it to the end of this, obviously, because as you look up, you can see in the large cage on the front, there is a small stump with a crack in it where you can see two little like blue dots looking out, and there is a large bear that is pacing back and forth within the cage. The bear
Okay,
also
there's a
has
lot.
the bear has like very small glasses on its nose.
Oh, okay. That makes total sense. Then okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Naturally.
Clears it up.
So we doing this together? Because I can tell you right now, I ain't gonna make it very far. I cannot bake.
And I'm not big enough now. I'll be able to do it again.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
I've done a lot of baking. I would be worried if we don't do it together, we would end up like we get to the end and it's just the three of us, and then what happens to the losers?
Right.
I don't know.
It's-
Let's
so
do
you-
it together.
Well,
Yeah, let's go.
You see, that was a rather unorthodox elimination. Usually, you just fail the bake. You are the lowest performing member of the team on that day, or on that round, and you are escorted out. So, largely, we don't have exploding ovens. That was a horrible, horrible mishap of technology. We will need to replace that oven. And he goes ahead and snaps, and somebody rolls in and begins to drag out the other oven.
So what
Uh,
happens if you lose? If you get eliminated? Sorry.
You're just asked to step to the side. You are all encouraged to remain for ultimately the final round, where you will cheer on your favorites.
Oh, right.
Alrighty then.
Well, in that
Is there
case,
any way? Sorry.
in that case, maybe we split up and then we have 3 chances.
You know what? You're the smartest of all of us.
Yeah.
So I'll just
I'm
take
real
your word
smart. I'm real smart.
for it. Technically, you're also the strongest too. I'm just the quickest. That's all I got.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Yeah,
a little
sure.
half elf, but I'm stronger than the bull man.
You are. You're compact.
Yep.
Wild.
Stocky. All right. Yep.
What were
Yeah,
you gonna
3
say,
chances
Charles?
makes sense.
Yeah. Charles?
Yeah, that made sense to me. Now, real quick, Ben, is there any way like one of us could roll to see if that fireball was like an actual accident or if it was sabotage?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
All right, time to use my Witcher dice. Let's see what it gives me. Okay, that wasn't great.
Can I roll 2?
Yeah. Anybody that wants to, you can roll for it.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
6.
18.
6. Oh boy. Okay. Well, Charles.
Oh, wait, did you say
you're a
insight?
little- Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. In that case, it's 12. I heard investigation for some
Oh,
reason.
okay. No, insight. Okay, then you guys would get, I mean, based on your experience with using an oven ever, ovens don't explode, really. And actually, as they're dragging it out, Bulford in particular, you would catch that there is something like hanging off of the back of the oven that is not supposed to be there. So you would guess it's probably an act of some kind of sabotage.
Gotcha.
So you guys want to go individual?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Okay,
Let's go.
sounds good.
Let's get it.
So for everybody at home, because you guys, the players, have access to the rules, but the people at home don't. So I'm going to run through this real quick here. Each round, everyone will roll a d20. That is going to be your bake roll. It is going to be just determine the quality of your bake. You just have your straight d20 roll. If you roll above a 15 on that roll, you are allowed to take an additional one of the 4 special actions that I will cover in just a second here. If a natural 20 and a natural 1 are not considered, automatic successes and failures. It's set up that way so that you will always complete a bake unless you have 0 or less on your bake roll at the end of the round. There are 4 different special actions that you can take. You cannot take the same action 2 rounds in a row, but you are welcome to just bounce back and forth between 2 of them if that is what you want to do. First one is called Cookbook. It's an intelligence check that works to make you remember what's going on. If you succeed, you add a d4 to your bake roll. If you fail it, you subtract a d4. There is Watch, which is a wisdom check that lets you sort of take cues from people around you. Same thing. If you succeed, add a d4. If you fail, subtract a d4. Sabotage is a dexterity check as you attempt to tamper with a different contestant's thing. If you succeed on that, you subtract a d4 from their roll. If you fail, you add a d4 to their roll. And there is the help action, which allows you to just give assistance to another one of the contestants here, giving them advantage on the roll connected to their chosen action. So the DC starts at 10 and it increases as we go through, arriving at 15 at the end of everything. So it's going to be more difficult as we go through here. The players here obviously are welcome to be creative as creative as they want to. They're not necessarily locked into those things I just listed, but we're going to see sort of what you guys come up with and we'll roll with it as we go. There are, however, 2 unshakable rules of the tent. There is absolutely no violence, which is why you turn in your weapons, and you must be polite. Those are the 2 rules. Everything else we will kind of cover as we go through. Sound good?
Yep.
Let's do it.
What about passive aggressive? Does that still count as not being polite?
I don't know what you're talking about. People think that's Southern charm, so.
Oh, there.
We will see what happens when we get to it. So you guys each take up a spot at one of the benches. That's what they're called. Counter spaces. Set up, get yourself ready to go, sort of take in your equipment. You've got all kinds of standard equipment. There's a big pantry off to the side. As you sort of stop and take a look around, you see the other open spots that were left in here are now being filled in by a couple more of these like automatons. You recognize them as a similar construction to like the drones that are flying around outside. You get the feeling that they're trying to like just keep this going in a perpetual loop in some weird way. There are 9 of them filling the other spots. There is one with this strange sort of like metal thing stuck onto its head where after a couple of seconds of looking at it, you interpret it as some kind of weird chef hat almost. There is one with another arm just sticking straight out of the middle of its chest. There is one with an eye that keeps like telescoping out and back in from its face. There is one that instead of legs, it has these massive like ATV wheels underneath it almost. There is one with 4 legs, as opposed to the 2 that most of them are sitting on top of. There is one that is very, very round. He's like a very rotund robot. There is one with a very itty bitty head on top of it, like the size of a softball, as opposed to a normal sized head. There is one with what it can only be described as a quite literal handlebar mustache, as it has a pair of handlebars attached to its face. And there is one that has its head pretty much sticking out of the middle of its chest because it's so far hunched over. They all take up their spots. They kind of like creak and snap around, kind of looking at everything that's going on around them. Just sort of moving in this very uncomfortable kind of way. From the front, in the cage, the bear lets out just kind of like a and it kind of like paws at the bars. But the robot man that took your weapons at the door rolls up and appears sort of in front. He stops and he says, "Again, welcome to the Great Gnomish Bake Off. You all have entered the competition, and we hope that you will follow the 2 rules of the tent. Be polite, and there is absolutely no violence. Breaking those will result in elimination if they are badly enough transgressed. We ask that you please be conscious of the other contestants around you, as they are also here to enjoy themselves and have a good time. But ultimately, we want to see who is the best baker here. First up, we are going to do Biscuit Week for round 1. I say week. We're going to cruise through this pretty quickly here, as we have some returning faces, and he motions to the first 3, which is the ATV wheels one, the very, very large one, and the one with the weird chef hat thing. So we would like to get some new individuals in as soon as possible, so we will be just doing them all in tandem. I hope that you are all rested and ready to go, as your time is going to begin now. So first round, we have Biscuit Week, or Biscuit Round. So you guys are doing some kind of like cookie, some kind of something like that. So first things first, I'm going to get your bake rolls from everybody. So just roll a d20 and let me know what the number is.
14.
9.
14 for Charles, 9 for Melis,
10.
10 for Bulford. Okay, so all of you guys are taking 1 action this round. What would you like to do?
So like off of the list of actions that's like on the Google Docs you gave us.
Yeah, you can do any one of the 4 of those, or you can try and come up with something else to do. As he says go, the like other automaton contestants all immediately start moving. Some of them start setting things up on their counters. Some of them go running off towards the pantry area, gathering up ingredients, coming back and like dumping these massive armfuls onto their bench tops. What would you guys like to do?
So quick question about these robots. Are they like floating like the drones, or are they like
No,
on feet?
they're all on the ground.
Are they on feet or on like roller wheels? Forgot what wheels were.
The guy, the big gold mustache man, is
Yeah.
on wheels, and there is one that is on like big ATV wheels. Everybody else is on like legs, which means they lumber in like a really weird, kind of uncomfortable way. Because it looks like their hip joints don't quite work right, so they're just kind of like as they walk.
Okay. All right.
Concern.
All right.
All right,
I
what do
would
we got?
take the watch action.
Okay.
Just trying to get a little sense of what's happening, lay of the land. I just want to look around at these robots and kind of see if I can pick out on what they're doing and what I should be doing.
Okay, sounds good. So you are going to give me a wisdom check, you're going to give me a wisdom check. Do either of the other 2 you guys want to do or want to take the help action, or are you going to do your own thing?
What was everybody's roles again?
9.
Mel said 9,
14.
Bulford has 10, Charles has 14.
I'll help Melis.
Okay, so you do that wisdom check with advantage.
Okay. Okay, it's a 13.
13, your DC is 10, so you add a d4 to your thing as you go ahead and make your stuff.
Okay, that takes me up to 13 for my bake roll.
Okay, so +4. All right. Charles, what do you want to do?
So with it being good week, I think Charles is going to try and make some beignets. So I guess the first step here would be to watch and see if I can find out where they keep the bread flour specifically, or maybe some puff pastry if they already have it out.
All right, go ahead and make a wisdom check for me then, as you try and take in everything that's going on. You see as you do this, Bulford sort of like bumping Melis and trying to like point out a couple of things that need to get done.
Thank you.
All right. Wisdom is 13.
13. So go ahead and roll a d4 and add it to your roll.
So that's a 1. So what did I roll? A 14?
14. So you're up to a 15. All righty. Let me make sure I'm doing math right because math is hard. Okay, so you guys all like fly into action, creating your own dishes here. Making Charles starts to make some kind of beignets that he sort of like morphs into cookies at the same time as he goes. It's a strange process, but it seems to be working out pretty well for him. Wilfred and Mellis, what do you want to make?
I'm gonna make sandwich cookies.
Okay.
They're gonna be like ginger and the cookies will be the kind where they're like crinkly, so they kind of break open and there's kind of the divots. And I'm gonna put an extra egg in the batter. That's maybe a bad choice, but just spice it up. I'll slip it out of my egg backpack.
Amazing. Mellis leans into her roots and uses only the freshest of farm fresh eggs that have been traveled in a backpack for several days. Mulford, what do you want to be doing?
So Bulford's gonna try to remember the last like sweet kind of cookie thing that he ate, and he's gonna remember that he had a chocolate bourbon biscuit cookie. I just had like bourbon stamped on the top of it. It was very classic. But he's like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get creative. So he puts so his favorite things in the world are bourbon, chocolate, besides his wife, and peanut butter. So he's gonna add some peanut butter into his mix. See if it'll add anything fun to it.
Amazing. So you guys fly into action. You are assembling your bakes as fast as you can. Time obviously goes by very quickly without you really realizing it. And as you look around, you can see these other robot guys. This first round, it looks like they are really focused on just performing instead of like doing much of anything else. You catch a couple of them kind of glancing around to sort of see what's going on, and a couple of them freeze for a second, and you can literally hear just like a as their head, like gears in their head start turning as they try and remember stuff, until ultimately you guys all pop open the oven, slide out your different biscuit cookies, slap them down on the counter, scrape them off, put them into a pile, and slide it to the end of your bench. The fancy robot man with the golden mustache starts rolling on down the line, saying, "Well, very good. It seems that everyone here has completed the bake within the allotted time. Now it is time for a taste test, and for that we throw to our esteemed judges and good friends up on stage there, Mary Berry and Paul Hollowwood." And he just sort of like turns and looks at everybody expectantly. And after a good like 5 seconds or so, a couple of the robots like clink, clink, clink.
Wilford's gonna kind of hold his breath because he's trying not to laugh. Golf clap.
So he goes ahead and he comes by and he scoops up all of the different trays and plates as he goes, stacking them very, very high, almost concerningly so, and rolling up there, and he sets them all out in front of them, and he lets them sort of like pick at and through some of them. You see that this little stump that was up there actually like gets up and waddles back like along the line of things on barely visible little feet under the bottom of the stump, as the bear just kind of like up and down the line.
She's better than I could have hoped.
Yeah. I'm here for this Paul Hollywood slander. It's excellent.
I hope we get at least one artist who just draws Mary Berry.
Very.
After they try each of them, the bear turns and looks at the stump. They just sort of like, and the stump lets out like this little like creaking sound, and the bear turns around and slaps one of the trays like through the bars of the cage, and you see the robot with the four legs at the bottom of it just go as it begins to just walk away out the side of the tent.
Oh.
That concludes the first round. Congratulations, bakers. Now, to award the Stellar Baker Award for this first round. It was close, apparently, so says Mr. Hollowwood. I don't speak bear, but I do speak woodwode. So, it was close, but this first round, it must go to our good friend Ivan here. And he points to the robot with the eye that telescopes in and out. Your classic chocolate chip with cinnamon was absolutely delicious, apparently. So, you are this week's Stellar Baker. Congratulations. Again, like 5-second pause before clunk, clunk, clunk.
Woo.
He says, and moving straight forward from that, I hope you are ready for round 2, because round 2 is the cake round, and we are so excited to see what you all come up with for this one. Similar rules apply, except this time you have, well, we'll say 2.5 hours for it. Good luck and bake! So let me get your bake rolls first thing from you guys.
13.
13 from Ellis.
That's a 2.
2 for Charles.
12.
No.
12 for Bulford. Okay.
I'm gonna help Charles as my action.
Okay. Melis is going to help Charles as her action. So go ahead and... Charles, what do you want to do?
And by helping him, I'm gonna slip him a couple of eggs.
Okay.
Which, adding, because I've got the legendary utensil, right? And it says I can add a d8 to any of my rolls.
Yes.
Does
so
that take a round action?
No, it does not. So one of the special rules in this is that because or for every legendary utensil that somebody has attuned to them, they gain a d8 to spend wherever they want, kind of like a bardic inspiration die. So Charles, being currently the only one with a legendary utensil attached to him, can use that if he so chooses right now,
Please.
or he can hang on to it.
No, we're gonna use it now.
Okay, go for it.
Spin that bitch.
Hell yeah, that's a 6. So that makes
So
it
you're
an
up-
8.
So you are up to 8. Very nice. So Melis, you are going to help Charles with whatever action Charles wants to do. Charles, what do you want to do?
Well, if we're gonna go cake, even though I'm not a huge fan of it in real life, I think Charles could do it justice to make a king cake, which I think the hardest part for him is going to be finding the little baby figurine he's got to put in the batter.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So sounds good. What do you want to do with your action this roundup?
Ooh. Even though I know it's gonna be terrible for me to do it, I feel like that's probably a cookbook check.
Okay, sounds good. You've got advantage on it, and your
Okay.
DC is 11.
Okay. First roll. Hell yes. Okay. So first roll was. Let me see here.
Uh-oh.
First roll was a 7. Second roll is a 17.
Great. Okay, so
Thank you so
let
much
me-
for that.
Yeah.
that means that you get a D4 to add to your roll there. Pulford, what do you want to be doing?
It's a 4.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to sabotage quite yet. I want to.
It's coming though.
I want to. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna do the watch, and I'm gonna particularly watch Ivar
Okay.
this round, just to kind of Mostly on Ivar, but I also want to watch the robots and kind of see how their legs and stuff work.
Okay.
I have a plan brewing in the back of my head.
Concerned, but okay. Sounds
Oh
good.
no.
Yeah, you should be concerned, honestly.
Uh-oh.
All right, and so that's a wisdom check.
Yep.
Ah, yes, a mighty wisdom check. So I rolled 15 total.
Okay. 15, that definitely passes. So go ahead and roll a d4 and add it to your, and we'll add it to your bake roll here. As you glance around and take in everything else that is going on. What you got?
I got a 3.
That's 3. Very nice. Okay. So as you guys are all kind of glancing around, taking stuff in, you see that the other robots are all kind of working. They are still kind of concentrated on their own things. However, you do see that Ivar, at some point, walks over to the one with the strange thing sticking out of his head, and nudges him just a little bit, like just like taps the back of the arm, and he uses his Stellar Baker to give the chef hat guy a -2 to his roll, because Stellar Baker, when it is awarded, in the next round, you can either give yourself +2 to one of your rolls, or somebody else -2 to one of their rolls. It can be added to either the bake roll or the action roll. And so he just sort of bumps the arm of the chef hat one and causes him to dump a lot more of the flour that he was holding into the container than he was hoping for. But Bulford, because you specifically want to know about the legs of these things, there are a couple of them that are different setups, but for the most part, they are attached in, like, essentially straightforward hip joints, but there are these wheels that sort of rotate back and forth as the leg swings forward. But because they can't move to the side at all, it causes them to sort of like jerk as they make their way forward.
Okay.
So they're a one plane of motion kind of rotational thing going on. What is everybody here making for cakes?
So I'm gonna make a pound cake.
Okay.
Gonna use about 10 eggs, which is only like 1 or 2 more than standard. And actually, while I'm working, Acorn has laid a new egg in my hair. So I'm gonna take that. That's gonna be my fresh egg.
Okay.
It's gonna be my secret ingredient. Gonna give the cake a little bit of extra oomph. And I'm gonna infuse some spices into this, so it's gonna be a spice pound cake.
Oh,
sure.
boy.
And I'll decorate it with cinnamon sticks. Try and make a little, like, I'll use some cinnamon sticks and some like star anise, and try and make a little scene on the edges with using spices.
Amazing.
I'm gonna do a pumpkin cake, and then the frosting is gonna be like a swirl of like regular cheese cream is gonna be regular cream cheese, and then also kind of swirled with like a chocolate cream cheese.
Okay.
And then if I could get a hold of, I don't know if I can or not, if like there's any
Probably.
like of the bourbon biscuits that I
Yep,
made
sure.
last time, I'm gonna crumble them on top on like as like a border, and then
Great.
have like 2 sitting in like the middle.
Very nice. Yeah, you would have, as we've established.
Didn't know if the bear liked them all that much, and she ate the
Well,
rest of them.
Bulford is not necessarily always the smartest man, but Bulford knows what he likes, and so he's gonna make a little extra what he likes. So you just kind of like stuck a couple in your pocket
Absolutely.
at the end of the first round. And
I'm putting
Now
it
you
in my
use them.
inventory.
Pocket cookies.
amazing pocket cookies
Pocket cookies.
forever.
I might have to
Okay.
actually make those cookies. They sound really good.
This
Right?
sounds real fucking good. Also, these cakes.
Yeah, for real. This was a poor choice to not eat a lot right before doing this episode.
I'm eating breakfast pizza. I regret. I wish I had breakfast dessert.
Anything is breakfast dessert if you try hard enough.
You're right.
So this is actually fun. Gingy, as we were talking
Yeah.
about earlier, you don't know what a D2 is for. I need you to flip that D2 for me real quick. because
Oh no.
Okay,
it's a tie for the top right now.
It doesn't have numbers on the D2, so I'm just gonna assume the head is a 1, and then
Sure,
the loot is 2.
Just pick one of them and go for it.
Okay, it's a 1.
Okay, sounds good. That's probably better, actually. So you guys assemble your things. Melis rolls a couple of eggs down the counter towards Charles, and right at the very end, you do your best to just flip him up over to his station. Charles isn't really paying attention. He's very much concentrated and trying to remember what he's supposed to be doing right now. So you just kind of land him in the bowl for him, and Charles, you look down and you go, well, those aren't supposed to be there. And so you take them out and crack them, and then you're not aware that you were helped by it, but you were in fact helped by it. You're so focused on remembering.
And because I feel like putting the baby in there, which is supposed to be Jesus, right? That probably fucks with the pantheon a little bit. So can I just put an alligator, like a baby alligator figurine?
Sure.
Baby gators.
Yeah.
Baby gators. Why not?
Speaking of which, I know Charles is not an alligator, but that is just how I picture you. I know you are really not, but I'm picturing you as just a real
fine.
big old gator.
If you look on D&D Beyond, it's literally just a gator person for my character.
That is true.
Amazing.
You guys all slide your cakes out of the ovens right as the fancy robot man with the handlebar mustache, or the big gold mustache, because there is the handlebar guy, slides up to the front and says, "And that concludes round 2. Bakers, please step away from your stations, as we will have the judging of your cakes." He slides around and scoops all of them up, inexplicably balancing them one on top of another, like tray cake, tray on top of cake, just all the way up, and goes ahead and lays them all out once again in front of
Gonna remember that one.
the large cage. He says, "Now we wait for the judges to decide." And there are these the stump kind of waddles along in front, and he will come to one of them and he will sort of bend forward a little bit, and then there's these very small cracks on the side, and these little twig arms reach out and stick forward and poke into the cake before they disappear back inside, which is a stark contrast to the bear that just will come up and go just eat half of each of the cakes as she goes along, eventually stopping at one that has sort of lady fingers all the way around the outside, and just slapping her paw down into it and causing it to just kind of out from everywhere. At which point you guys pause for a second and look around, and you can't really tell what happened. And then Charles, I believe with your passive perception, you would realize that actually the one with the itty bitty head has turned its tiny head down a little bit, and it begins to just sort of walk its way on out. The head is too small for you to have really seen it go as it got sad to leave. The fancy robot man in the front goes, "Well, the judges have decided, and, well, we are sad to see you go, but thank you for participating. And now, for our stellar baker this round, we have someone who will not tell me their name, but it's you!" And he points to the one with the third arm sticking out of his chest. He does this weird back and forth clap thing, one of those clapper things that you would get from Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, with his third hand. He just kind of hits the one in the middle back and forth.
Hell yeah.
As everything sort of resets, those buggy robots that you saw before, the little car guys, come back out, and they've been clearing off the stations of the ones that have been leaving as you go. The fancy man in the front says, "Very well." Very well. Next up, our third round is going to be our bread round. We hope that you all will, well, bring it for this one. It is one of our esteemed small friend at the front's favorite weeks to deal with usually. For some reason, this small stump loves bread. Anyway, you all have 3 hours to complete your bakes. On your marks, get set. Bake, please. So, bake rolls for everybody first off.
Whew.
What you got,
3.
Nellis? Oh boy. What you
Natural
got?
20.
Hey, there we go.
Yay!
Yes.
11.
11 for Charles. All right. So, what we've got here is a Bulford. While natural 20s don't actually give you anything in particular for bakes, you rolled above 15, which means that you get to take 2 actions of your choice on this round. If the special thing about the help action is that if you are using it as your second action in a round where you have gotten 2, you can apply it to yourself if you want to just give yourself a better possibility for that. But the rest of the tent around you sort of springs to action. At one point, there is a collision between 2 of the robots, specifically the one with the chef hat thing sticking out of it, and the very rotund round one. And there is an explosion of flour in the center of the tent. So everything is kind of covered in this fine white dust anyway. This round seems to be a little bit more chaotic than the other ones have been thus far. What do you guys want to be doing? What do you want to make? What do you want to do? What actions do you want to take? Tell me all of the information.
I'm probably going to give a help action to Melis.
Thank you.
Just because
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to win this round, but I definitely
Fair
think I'm going
enough.
to lose it, so I feel comfortable.
Appreciate
What was
it.
everybody else's roll?
3.
11.
Oh. 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't stack helps, but
Yeah, no.
That means that you can do 2 other things or help
Damn it.
yourself.
Damn.
Yeah, go get that Stella Baker.
Okay, so what I'm gonna first and foremost, I'm gonna make Irish soda bread.
Okay.
That's my goal. And since
Cool.
Mr. Hollowwood, if I remember from watching this show, is a little bit of a stickler, I'll try to keep it as just as to the book as possible.
Okay. Sounds good.
But for my actions, I'm gonna sabotage.
Okay. Who do
and
you
the
want to
goal-
sabotage?
Okay. So this might be bad for me, but I'm gonna try to sabotage our Star Baker
Okay.
for the last round. And my goal for doing that is right about the time of the when we're all rushing to get the pantry and whatnot. During the explosion of flour,
Yeah.
during that initial everywhere before it clears off too much,
Uh-huh.
I want to make sure I'm close to him, and I want my leg to get smacked by his.
Okay.
And the
Sounds
idea is to make it look like he kicked me. 'Cause
Interesting.
that's violence.
Okay.
Not allowed
Sounds
in the tent.
good.
Right.
So when he does that, I'll just kind of stop. Ah, my leg! What the heck, man? There's not supposed to be any violence in this.
All right. Go ahead. Make your dex check for sabotage. Are you helping yourself on it, or are you gonna use that for something else?
Can I see what I make on the roll first, or do I have to?
Sure.
say I'm
I'll
gonna
let you. That's what your natural 20 gets you. You can decide if you're gonna help yourself after.
Oh my god. And it's just a straight dex check, not a dexterity save.
Correct.
Okay, it's math is hard. 16.
16. Okay, that does succeed. So go ahead and roll a d4 so that we
2.
2. Okay. Oh boy. All right. That is.
I don't know if I like it or not.
All right. Well, let's see. Roll another d4 for me, just to see here.
4.
4. Okay. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage
Okay.
as he kicks you unintentionally on his part, but he does kick you with his like robot leg, and you get like punched at the same time in the chest by the third arm as he like stumbles forward from the kick. He also takes 4 points of damage as psychic damage instead. As he sort of like freezes in the pantry before he continues being able to move again. Okay, you have another action, Bulford.
All right. Well, we know what happens if violence. Fuck. I'll do another watch.
Okay.
Just to kind of see. Since
Yeah,
I
go
can't
ahead.
stack help for Melis.
Yeah, go ahead and make your wisdom check. What you got?
It's 2 + 1, total 3.
All right, go ahead and roll a d4 and subtract that from your thing.
Got some flour
Oh,
in
no.
my eye.
1. 1. Okay.
Oh.
So, Melis, what do you want to be doing? As you are
I'm
being
gonna be
assisted
making.
by Charles.
Thank you. I'm gonna make cloud bread, maybe a little unorthodox in the tent because it's very civil, but it's mostly eggs, so I'm gonna make cloud bread, and I'm gonna do my very best to actually like, rather than it just being like discs, I'm gonna try and like make like a cloud sculpture of bread, so it has some three-dimensionality to it. But
Okay,
I'm gonna watch, and I'll watch Ivar in particular, just because he did so well in that first round, or they did so well. So, yes, I'll take the watch action.
Okay, sounds good.
Which is a 13.
13. All right, you do succeed. So go ahead and roll a d4 and add it to your roll here.
Okay, so I'm up to 6.
Okay, so
Plus
plus 3 for Melis. And Charles, what are
wait.
you making?
Okay, that's same.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure my help didn't give me a natural 20. but
Sure.
No.
Charles is going to make a very simple French bread, just very basic yeast, salt, and just keep it very down to earth. Fuck it up less that way.
Okay, sounds good. And you are going to be giving Melis a little bit of a hand here. Help is encouraged, as it is polite to help those around you. So you don't have to like be sneaky about it or anything. As you go and you see what Melis is working on, so you go ahead and you help her crack a couple more eggs. Get some stuff going for her as you're waiting just for your stuff to rise over on your station.
Oh, thank you, Charles.
Hey, no man.
All right. You guys do catch out of the corner of your eye the one with the third arm who has now kicked our good friend Bulford by accident or not.
And punched me.
And punched you.
It's just the kick. I wasn't ready for the punch.
Well, the other arm is right at the middle of the chest, so
Yeah,
it's
you're
kinda
right.
like just kind of there.
I've forgotten.
You see him take a little bit of the flour off of the station of the robot with the handlebars on its face, and take it and just sort of like toss it back up into the air, and then take the handlebars and just kind of turn him away from the station for a little bit to just sort of throw off whatever rhythm that he was in, using his Stellar Baker to give him a -2. And Bulford, as you were sitting there working on your soda bread, you are going through and you pop open your proofing drawer for a second, and you see that for some reason it is not as warm as it should be in there. it seems like someone has come by and unplugged the back of your proofing drawer. So you go ahead and you get it plugged back in, and you keep working on it. You guys get everything into the oven, shaped and ready to go. As you slide out, ultimately drop it onto the counter, let it cool down just a little bit.
Psychic damage might be worth it.
Ice cream cake all over again.
You know, you guys are in less time than you expect. Called out to by the fancy man with the golden mustache. Says, and that will conclude our third round. Bakers, please step away from your bakes, slide everything to the end of your stations, and we will get it up here for the judges to take a look at. And they go ahead and come by, picking up all the bread. Arms like Extendo Inspector Gadget arms, like scoop everything up this time and go up and like lay it out in front of them. And once again, the bear begins to walk up and down. However, there is a weird thing that you guys pick up on as you're looking at this. There is there's only 9 bakes up front, even though there's 10 of you. And after he sets everything out, the man with the fancy golden mustache turns back around and says, I'm sorry, do you have anything to put before the judges? And the one with the third arm sticking out of his chest just kind of goes and walks his way out of the tent. Because Bulford Sabotage dropped him to a 0.
Oh.
So he could not complete a bake.
Woof.
Uh-huh.
That's what you get for kicking me. I might take some more damage for y'all. I can't do Sabotage again. I already did it this round.
Okay. Nonetheless, the bear on this one takes a little bit of a backseat as the stump, like, very, very meticulously walks up and down the line of breads, leaning almost all the way over to the point where you think that the stump should be falling over because you can see the little feet at the bottom of it, and it doesn't look like it should be able to do that, but it's leaned way down, and the little twiggy arms are like reached out and like lifting stuff up and like crinkling it near its face, or its face hole, I guess, because there's just the crack with the blue dots in it, and the bear is happily just eating half loaves of bread as she goes up and down, just before eventually the little stump goes ahead and just slides forward a loaf of Irish soda bread and turns around. Congratulations to you, our large cow friend, whose name I did not catch.
Bulford.
Bulford, you are this round's Stella Baker.
Hey.
Congratulations. But don't sit on it for too long, as we are moving straight forward into the dessert round. So, gather your thoughts, gather your things, and go. So, let's go ahead and get some bake rolls for everybody first.
Alright.
And Wilford, you have a standing, floating +2 you can add to any one of your rolls, or a -2 you can add to somebody else's rolls, either action or bake rolls.
Okay.
What do we got?
19.
19 for Charles.
Hey.
18.
Hey.
18 for Ellis.
19.
Jeez, guys.
I did well.
Okay.
We said we are a dessert party.
Yes.
I want dessert. You guys get 2 actions each this round to do with what you please. I will say, because I don't have it written down here, but I don't want to force you into taking the other 2 actions. You can take the action you took before if you've got a double action. So, because otherwise I'm going to make Bulford do a cookbook and help someone.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't mind helping out a friend. I was already Star Baker. I don't mind doing that.
fair enough. It does seem like the robots are competing against each other for whatever reason. It doesn't look like they are teamed up in any way.
Okay.
They are like trying to outdo each other for whatever reason.
Okay.
So, what do we got? What do we want to make? What do we want to do? As everybody springs back into action.
Charles is going to go for a bananas Foster, I believe, and then with that, he's going to go into the pantry and get all the freshest bananas and leave just all the unripe and overly ripe shit for everybody else.
Okay, sounds good. Amazing. Is that an attempt at sabotage, or you just want to leave overripe stuff for everybody else?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I mean, flavor's flavor, man. You can do what you want in terms of flavor.
Oh, okay.
Especially in Flavorcity. So, up to you what you want to do.
Yeah, you know what? Let's try and sabotage. My dexterity's not great, but let's do it.
Okay, who do you want to sabotage specifically? We've got, as a recap and reminder for you guys, we've got the one with the thing sticking out of his head that is somehow supposed to be a chef's hat. We've got Ivan, who is the one with the telescoping eye. We've got the one with ATV wheels underneath it. We've got the big, round, rotund one. We've got the one with the literal handlebar mustache, and the one that is like hunched way over.
We'll go with Ivan. I don't like the way he's looking at me.
Fair enough. Go ahead and you can help yourself if you want to give yourself advantage on this roll, or you can save it for later.
We'll go ahead and help, because the first roll I got was a 14. Let's see if we get anything better.
Okay.
It's a 15.
15 sounds good. I will also say that the DC for your actions has gone from 11 to 12 now for your rounds. So a 15 does in fact make it. Go ahead and roll a D4 for me to take off of either. 2? Okay. Sounds good. All right. What do the other two you guys want to do? As Charles goes ahead and brings out all of the bananas, literally all of them, and he takes the kind of grosser ones and drops them off on Ivor's station. Says, I got these for you, buddy. Here you go. Acting like he's giving him a hand, but very specifically not.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't going to use any fruit, Charles. Good lord.
Well, you guys don't need it.
No, it's good. I'm going to make a hot chocolate souffle.
Okay.
Using 5 eggs, a few extras, and I am going to. I'm going to. I'll do a watch action.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and make your wisdom check. You gonna help yourself?
No, I'm not gonna help myself. It is a 19.
19. Go ahead and roll a d4 to add to your thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a 1.
Still.
Cool. So for my second action, I'm going to sabotage.
Who do you want to sabotage, and how do you want to sabotage them?
I'm going to sabotage.
You cannot sabotage the same person as somebody else.
Right.
Dang it.
I'm gonna sabotage.
Just absolutely wreck Ivar.
I was hoping for a round where we all just shit on Ivar.
I'm gonna sabotage old Roundy.
Old Roundy. All right. What do you want to do?
Well, Captain Featherbottom the second, or yes, it's something like he's gonna hop out of my bag.
Okay.
And just take a little stroll over there. Just.
All right.
Just kind of walk through the station, cause a little bit of chaos, mess things up, distract.
Sure.
The round robot.
Yep. Go ahead and roll your dex check for me then.
All right. Oh.
I'll say you can make this charisma if you want to instead, but.
No, that's fine. I rolled a 3, so 6.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d4. and Roundy's going to add that to his
Okay.
score.
Well, it's just a 1.
Okay. As Captain Featherbottom II hops out and begins to go scratch across the station of this rather rotund robot, goes ahead and he starts pecking at some of the eggs that are on the station and like rip a hole in the bag of flour, and the robot turns and looks at him and just kind of gives him a nod as he picks up the bag of flour and uses the new opening to add the flour and takes the pre-cracked eggs and goes ahead and drops them in and
Well,
gives Captain Featherbottom just a little pet.
And nuzzles into the robot, and then hops back around towards me by the end of the round.
All right. And Bulford.
Bulford's gonna make a cheesecake. And it's gonna be
Nice.
like it's gonna be like a light peppermint kind of cheesecake. It's gonna have that like
Okay.
red and white swirl and whatnot on
Sure,
it.
yeah.
Thought that'd be. I don't know, I'm trying to be creative and shit.
Sure.
Okay,
Good.
so Bulford's gonna sabotage.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, might as well. So let's see which robot that has not been messed with looks like they're doing all right.
Particularly the one that's hunched way over looks like they're doing a-okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to him.
Okay.
I'm going up to him.
I want that one.
Yeah. Quick question: can I
Yes.
stack my sabotage and Star Baker?
Yes.
Sweet. I'm doing that.
Sure. Great.
So when the little hunched over man, I'm gonna walk up to him as my cheesecake is. I don't fucking know how to make cheesecake. So if like there's a moment where I can like take a second to
Sure. Yeah.
do whatever. Like I'm
Kinda
walking over to
set
get like
for a little bit.
yeah. Sure, whatever. I'll take that. As I walk
over.
over to like get like a bag of like peppermints to like crush on top, I'm gonna walk over, kind of look over at what he's doing, and be like, "Oh man, that looks pretty nice." And I'm just gonna like give him a friendly pat.
hmm
It's gonna be just a little too hard. Shake
Okay.
him.
Sounds good.
Good job, man. Good
you
old
go over-
southern bat.
Yep.
Oh,
Give
not
him a
the
good little
southern
pat.
bat.
Go ahead and roll your dex check.
All right, that's gonna be 17.
17 works. Go ahead and roll your d4, and then add 2 to that.
That's 6, baby.
Oh
Hey.
boy, definitively
Fucked
doing
up.
less well now. As you go over and you
How
take
hard
a
the
look,
bap was that?
pretty hard. Slap him on the back, and part of
Like
the
that-
problem
It's like
is
that
they-
one friend you know that's just a little too like farm buff, forgets that they're drawing a lot, and they like try to like just kind of give you a good friendly tap, and you're just like, ugh.
Exactly. You're over there. He's pouring some powdered sugar into like a bowl so he can make some kind of like icing or something like that. And you walk up and say, "Oh, that looks pretty good." Slap him on the back. Drops the bag of sugar into the bowl, and because
no.
of where his base is in terms of the hunch, it just goes forward and goes into the bowl of batter that's sitting next to it. So he's got to
Oh,
like
no.
take a second to like wipe off as you
Can I
avoid the
pretend
violence.
to help
like-
him?
Yeah.
Wipe? And to just smear it worse, try to get in
Just-
like the cracks and crevices.
Yep. And eventually you walk away and you can see that it's like caked into the little like socket where the eye bits are and in the seams on the face.
Does the batter taste good?
It tastes
lick.
all right now.
All right.
Got a lot of like random powdered sugar that floated over into it. But, all right. Well, that's one action for Bulford.
For shits and giggles, I'll do a cookbook.
Okay. Sounds good.
I haven't done it yet. We'll see how bad it is.
Sure.
Oh yeah, straight roll. Ooh, 13.
There you go. That works. Go ahead and roll your d4.
3.
Wow. Okay. That puts you at 22.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. So, as you guys are getting everything together, working on your stuff, Charles, you're peeling all your stuff, you're throwing the bananas in, and you reach over and you're just sort of so in the group that you realize looking over after the fact that you've peeled and put in a whole bunch of these bananas that you had dropped off at a different station and thrown the overripe ones into yours. You still got plenty of good ones, but some of the overripe ones have made their way into your cook.
We got a dog pile on him next round.
Quick question: if I summon the rats, could I use my wisdom modifier instead of dexterity?
If you summon the rats, it's going to be its own thing, okay? It's going to be a whole different... Like I said, you don't have to try and shoehorn everything into those 4 actions. Those are just like standing ones.
Oh,
Kind of go with. If you summon rats, we got a different thing going on.
This whole competition's going down.
It's going sideways. But you guys get everything in the oven, pull it out, get it set up, and slid right to the end of your bench as our golden mustachioed friend rolls to the front, says, "And that is time. Thank you all so much for participating in the dessert round." And you 3 who have finished just ahead of time, seemingly. Very well done. I will collect all of these and we'll get them up for the judges. He comes around, scoops everything on up, goes over, lays it all out in front of the judges. Let me do my math real quick as they walk up and down, checking everything, making sure that everything tastes good. Again, the bear just like sloppily eating into everything, just as the wood woad just sort of like picks little bits off and throws them into the face hole on the front of the log. Seemingly having a much better time now than he was at the very beginning. So, at the end of that, the large bear comes up after seemingly discussing with the stump and slaps down on top of a cheesecake. Not a peppermint cheesecake, but a cheesecake nonetheless. And you see the large chef hat go and go and make its way towards the tent flap. The mustachioed man says, "This is a rather rare occurrence. We've had a cheesecake at the top and bottom of the pile for the 2nd round in a row. Our good friend Bulford, you are the stellar baker this round. Thank you so very much. And thank you for participating." He calls out after the
The sad
leaving.
robot.
Yep, the sad robot. We move forward next to our next round. We are trying to again clear this out so that we can get the next group in as quickly as we can here. So our 5th round is going to be the spice round. Lean into the spices, get creative, and do your best. Bake. So let me get bake rolls from everybody first. Good start.
I don't
3.
like the sound of that.
3 for Melis.
Yeah.
3.
the natural 20.
20 for
look.
Charles.
Get it.
15.
15 for Bulford. So, Charles and Bulford, you guys both get 2 this round. And Melis, you get the 1. Bulford, you've got the floating 2. You can apply to positive for any of your rolls, negative for anybody else's. So, what do we want to make in the spice round? And what do we want to do across the board here?
I mean, if we're going for something spicy, like this probably a stupid question, but does it have to be baked?
The idea is that it's baked, but you can try something else if you want to.
Okay, I guess I'll do an etouffee with some of the chicken, I guess, baked, and then add it onto it.
Okay, sure.
Then, of course, I'm gonna just pull out my homemade spices.
Naturally. Okay, so Charles is gonna try and bend the guideline a little bit here and get himself some etouffee. What actions do you want to take, Charles? If Charles is still there. Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, you cut.
Yeah, what actions do you want to take?
Oh. Well, I'm gonna. Can I help Melis again, or did I do that last? I can't remember.
You didn't do it
I think I
last
helped myself.
Yeah,
I think you used the help action last time.
You did, but
Okay.
But you got a 20, didn't you?
Yeah, you got a 20. You
Yeah.
can do it again.
Repeat on a 20.
yeah,
Yeah.
you,
Oh,
you
okay.
can repeat on when you have to double up if you.
If you don't help him, I will.
Yeah, I'll help Melis.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And
Which one of those fucking robots sabotaged me last time?
I mean, you're not super sure which one, but you dropped the if I'm remembering right, you dropped the kind of gross bananas off on Ivar's station.
Gotta get rid of Ivar.
Get him.
Yeah.
Go fuck him up.
I'm gonna go over to Ivar's desk and just lay a single cracker on his station. And say it's time and walk away.
Cracker man.
You know what's crazy about that? You
Cracker
go over
man.
You go over with the cracker and lay it on Ivar's station, and you turn to talk to him, and he's turned, interacting with another one of the robots, who takes a cracker and lays it on the counter and turns and walks away. Ivar has already been sabotaged this round by one of the other robots.
Oh.
We're tired of his shit.
Alright, I guess I'll go with the chef then.
The chef one just got eliminated. The one that you've
Oh.
got, Ivar, the telescoping eye guy, ATV wheels, the rather round, rotund one, handlebars, and the hunch.
How about
The hunch
Roundy?
was the one that just threatened Ivar with a cracker.
The round one's still in though, right?
The round one is
Yeah.
still in, yes.
Okay, you didn't say
Should
that.
I go for the round one?
Go, do it.
Yeah. We'll I guess
Get
we'll
the
put the
orb.
cracker on the round one. Yeah.
Are you gonna cracker the round one, or are you gonna do something else?
What are you doing, Cracker Man?
I mean, we gotta go with the cracker. We gotta do it at this point. I've called it out at this point.
Okay.
If I don't do it, I'm just gonna let myself down.
Rats are
Sure.
already coming.
We'll be there soon.
Coming, my king.
Go ahead and make your. You can either use dexterity or charisma for this one, I would say, for sabotage,
Okay.
because it's more of a threat than anything else.
Okay. For the piss poor charisma. Does a 13 do it?
13 does do it. However, in threatening the other one,
Oh,
you do take 3 points of psychic damage.
that's fine. I can do that.
As you hear the fancy man's voice ring back out. A reminder that impoliteness will not be tolerated. But you
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead,
fair.
snap the cracker out, go ahead and roll a d4 to subtract from big round guy's roll here.
That's a 4.
Oh boy. All right. All right, Melis, what do you want to be doing? You have
Okay,
a
I'm
help
good.
from Charles.
Yes, I am going to make a gingerbread Yule log, but I'm gonna make it, instead of it being like a log, I'm gonna turn it into looking like a chicken coop. And I'll try and make
Alright.
some little chicks to sit on the outside.
Awesome.
Let's see. I watched last time, so I guess I'm gonna do a cookbook action.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just
and
I'm
roll
gonna
and
try and remember. This is maybe a family recipe that
Sure.
Pa makes. So I'm gonna try and remember just how he does it.
Sounds good.
He's intelligent. Okay, 15.
15. Go ahead and roll your d4 as Pa. You flash back to Pa telling you about how Great Pa and Great Ma used to make this for him when he was little and sitting around the fire at the holidays. What you got?
I got a 3, so I'm up to 6.
All right. And finally, we come to Bulford. What would you like to do?
Alright, so as far as bakes go, Bulford's gonna remember a time where they had a family get together and the whole herd was there. And one of his sons then boyfriend, now husband, had brought in these samosas, and he remembered really liking them, so he's gonna make those.
All right. Sounds good.
And then as far as actions go, I can't sabotage Ivar, but what I can do is give him a -2.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm gonna do the same thing with the good old Southern charm. I'll walk up to him and put my arm around him and kind of do that like weird, like one-armed hug, shake, and just kind of mess him up. Looks like you're doing real good. Yeah, I'm gonna jostle him real good. Looks like you're doing real good right there. It smells delicious, man. What you making? And just kind of rock. Oh yeah, that sounds great, buddy. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
As you're rocking him back and forth, you see that he's holding a little jar labeled with the label on it that just says cardamom, and all of a sudden he accidentally just like and just like adds a bunch extra into the bake itself. So there's your Stella Baker. You've got 2 actions to do with what you please.
Okay. What robot has not been sabotaged?
You've got the hunch. Nope, not the hunch. You've got the handlebar. You've got the hunch.
Yeah.
The handlebar. And
Poor hunch, I kind of feel
yeah.
bad.
The ATV wheeled guy.
How sturdy them wheels looking?
I mean, the wheels themselves look pretty sturdy. I mean, they're like good, like 12 inches across and like probably 18 inches diameter. They're little ATV wheels, but they're ATV wheels.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. Not good. My idea was to just accidentally drop the pitchfork, and I'm not. No, I like my pitchfork. All right. I'm gonna go sabotage the non-8. I'm gonna go back to the hunch. He's probably got. He's gotta have some kind of disadvantage with all that stuff caked in his eyes, so I'll just keep on going with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my big man privileges.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, as I walk over to this like little table, I'm gonna kind of set my elbows down and like lean against it and try to tilt the table a little bit, making it look like accident, like I forgot that I am large. And just what you making there?
Sounds good. Go ahead and make your dex check. I'd say you can make this one with strength if you'd rather, but I'm pretty sure your dex is better.
They're the same actually. If it's just a straight roll, they're both the same.
Yep.
15.
15. Go ahead and roll your d4 to subtract from his
3.
Okay. All right.
This poor man.
Anything else?
He's never gonna cook again.
No.
I know.
Be lower than me.
I'm trying.
You've got another action. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but
I mean, I can't. It's not gonna. I'm gonna do the cookbook again.
okay, sounds good.
Actually, no. I'm gonna do watch, and I'm
Go
gonna keep
for
my
it.
eyes on the robots, see what they're doing, see if anybody else is gonna be doing any more sabotaging. I can see who does what. Dice just decided to roll away. 15. Wait,
15.
no. 16.
16 does work. Go ahead and add a d4 to your bake.
3.
3. All right. So after you get done, elbows on the table of the hunched one, which of course makes everything start to slide away, and he scrambles to grab everything. And you kind of help adjacent.
Very much. As soon as I notice that it's starting to slide, I'll jump back. So it's like he reaches, and then they just all go back.
Yep.
Some clatter.
Well, they all go back and they like ram into each other and mix stuff between the two of them, and it's just it's not great. It's really just not. But you guys go ahead and you finish your bakes, getting everything put together, sliding stuff out. At one point, the mustachioed man comes over to Charles' station and goes, interesting. I don't know that we've had a well, I'm not entirely sure what it is you're making. I don't know that we've had this on the show before, but seems to be working well for you so far. You're in your element, it seems.
Ja, thank you. Jag är lite bang ut på fem och nog blir från varandra.
I didn't catch a word of that, but sounds good.
At
Well-
least he's honest.
We're at the end of our time here, so bakers, please step away from your bakes, get everything to the end of your counter, and I will come collect them for the judges. He slides around, collects everything up, and goes and lays it out at the feet of the judges up on the stage. They pause for like a long time at Charles's, really trying to figure out what to do with this before eventually moving on. And
I broke the spirit, but not the rules.
pretty much. And you guys, as you're looking at it, you're like, what's wrong with that one? There's one of them on the end that it looks like it was supposed to be some kind of like spiced bread almost, but it's just got like mounds of like actual spice powder just sitting on top of it instead. And the judges look at it, and the bear comes down and just and backs away from it, and they won't touch it. And this time the little stump reaches for it and just flips the plate over with that lump of bread on it. And you see the hunched robot's shoulders drop just a little bit further and begins to make its way out.
We gotta get Ivar.
Fucking Ivar.
Thank you so much for joining Bake Off this time. We hope to see you again at some point in the future. But as a surprise to us and our judges, our stellar baker this round is this odd soup thing. Congratulations, sir.
Yes.
I would ask your name, but I am afraid I would not be able to understand it. Can either of you tell me what it might be, please?
Oh, it's Charles.
Charles, congratulations.
I
We
know.
appreciate your contribution, and you are this round's stellar baker.
Woo!
Yeah.
Moving
Go Charles.
right along, we
Hey.
don't have time to pause and celebrate. We are going into the pastry round.
Oh,
So, get yourselves ready. This is a big one. Go. So let me get bake rolls from everybody first thing.
I'm terrible at pastries. Oh, no. Okay. It's a 9.
9 for Charles.
19.
19 for Mellis.
Oh no.
6. Okay. 6 for Bulford. All right. Well, Mellis, you've got a pair of actions this round. And Charles, you've got a floating +2 you can add to any of your rolls, including the bake roll if you want, or subtract from anybody else's.
I feel like it's probably best to add it to my roll, and then try to like maybe do a watch. That way, Mellis, if they're gonna help, they can help Bulford. Right?
Okay. Sounds good. So that bumps your initial bake roll up to an 11. What do you want to make, Charles?
He's probably not done a whole lot of pastries. I think he's gonna go for, even though it's gonna be make or die on this, honey buttered croissant.
Croissant. All right. Go ahead and make your watch roll for me.
That's wisdom, right?
Yes. Just a straight up wisdom check. Oh, he froze.
Ruh-oh.
Yep, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. Go ahead and add, roll a d4, add it to your thing here.
3.
+3. All right. Mellis, what do you want to do as Charles gets to work on his honey butter croissants?
Yeah, so I'm gonna help Bulford.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a little like sling out of a
Mhm.
napkin and put some eggs in and put the sling around Captain Featherbottom II's neck and then push him over, and he's gonna hop over to Bulford's station.
All right.
And bring him the eggs. I'm gonna make little tartlets.
Okay.
That look like birds' nests, and inside it's actually going to be savory with roast chicken and egg and roast vegetables.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do. Meanwhile, as I'm like passing through,
Mhm.
like I'm gonna go get some sweet potatoes and butternut squash. I'll walk past Ivar's station, and as I go, I'm going to I'll slip
Mhm.
and accidentally like fall and drop, have an egg fall out of my little backpack and drop into his station and crack
Okay.
over what he's doing.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna sabotage Ivar.
Okay, go ahead and make a dexterity
Good,
check.
fuck
for me.
Ivar.
I don't know why you guys have
Okay.
fixated on him, but sure.
He
was-
keeps doing good and sabotaging others.
It's true. He's got. He's
I mean, we're sabotaging, but we're the chosen ones. It's fine.
Right.
rules do not apply to us. That's a 21.
All right,
Charles
go
is purely the eye. It's the telescope eye that pisses him off.
ahead. Go ahead and roll a d4 to subtract from Ivar's bake here.
Okay. Sounds good. That's a 3.
3. All right. So, Bulford, Melis is helping you out.
Yay.
What
Thank
would you
you.
like to do?
So Bulford's gonna try to make what are they called? They're called like cheese danishes or whatever.
Sure.
Like the little square, and then there's
Uh-huh.
like tasty filling in the middle. And his idea, because he's trying to be creative. He's trying to use his man brain to be creative. his himbo, very little intelligence, and he's gonna break up some of the filling color
Mhm.
and like try to draw little dairy cows on like a little green pasture
Amazing.
So cute.
because he misses his wife a lot.
Yep.
She's the baker. She knows how to do it. So he's like trying to draw. They don't look good. Only the green
naturally.
pasture comes out great. All the cows look pretty deformed.
Captain Featherbottom
Naturally.
lingers at your station after dropping off the eggs and tries to like cluck some encouragement at you as you're working.
Beautiful.
Pecks at my hand when I'm going too far.
Yeah, no.
So I'm drunk.
Stop it.
My bad. Okay, got it. This way, got it. Okay.
Incredible. So, what
So
action do you
much.
want to take?
I'm gonna. So what did I do? I did sabotage and cookbook last time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can only do watch or help. I'm just gonna watch this round.
All right. You have advantage on it because of Melis's help.
Fuck yeah. Ooh, that's 13 and 12. So 13 with wisdom is a 14.
14 does make it. The DC went up on this round to 13, so you are good to go. So go ahead and roll a d4, add it to your bake roll.
2.
Amazing. All right. As you guys are, getting stuff going, getting your stuff rolling at your different stations, Captain Featherbottom coaching essentially Bulford for drawing small cows. Melis, after about 30 minutes, you realize something is wrong with the eggs that you're using. You have been substituted non-farm fresh eggs into your bake.
Oh.
So you have to scrap it and start over, which puts the pressure on. But
Makes me so
ultimately-
livid.
ultimately, you do in fact complete the bake in the time right down to the wire as the gold handlebar man comes out and says, "All right, and that is time, bakers. Please step away. Get everything to the end of your bench once again." As he rolls up and starts scooping everything up, he pauses at Bulford and says, "These cows are adorable.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Oh.
I don't know that will help you, but they are precious." And continues on his way.
So he can't blush, but his little cow ears kind of like flip back and
Flutter.
forth.
Oh, so cute.
Amazing.
Also, for the record, I realized I would not have used chicken. We'll say pork.
Sure.
Pork
Yeah.
in the little Acorn on my head starts to just like squawk as soon as I reach for the chicken. I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I was getting this.
Both of us are getting reprimanded by chickens.
Amazing. So, as he goes and drops everything off, you guys realize, again, for the second time in this whole competition, there is one too few things up on the bench for the judges. And the wheelie robot man comes over and stops at Ivar's station and says, "Do you have anything to contribute?" And the eye just kind of... and he goes... as Melis's sabotage reduced him to -1.
Sorry, buddy. It's okay.
You punch a cat?
I scared my cat.
Oh no!
Oh,
Scared the new boy. He like jumped up.
Oh,
Well, that's another week of him not letting me touch him. It's fine.
Oh no.
That's rough.
That's rough, buddy.
He's finicky. It's fine.
oh.
I got my fat boy.
Fair enough. So as Ivar makes his way towards the edge of the tent, out in his eye hole happening, the handlebar man, the golden handlebar man, turns and says, "And for the third of our 3 less robotic contestants here, you, my good friend, with your chickens, seem to have made your way to the top of this round. What is your name?"
Oh my god, I'm Melis.
Melis. Well, your little tartlets were absolutely perfect. We don't have any more. Miss Berry ate all of them.
That's
Yes.
good. As long as she was happy, that's all I'm trying to do is please the bear.
She seemed very pleased with everything that was going on. She also enjoyed the small cows, but Mr. Hollowwood was not as appreciative of them. But no time to dwell on that as we go to our 7th round. This round is our vegan round. Little bit of a curveball for all of you.
Oh no.
Potentially, yes, Melis?
What does that mean?
Well, unfortunately, it means that you will not be able to use the eggs that you have been using so far.
It means you gotta be completely no animal product.
Animal product at all.
Quick question. Does that include pig?
Yes, that does include pigs.
No. Fish.
Fish.
Fish. It does include fish.
Yes, it does
Yeah.
include fish.
If the product that you are using is alive in any way, you cannot use it, or any byproduct that it comes by. So, like, if you wanted to use honey, you couldn't because it is an animal product.
Dr. B don't care so much. No, some of the animal dessert.
Listen, man, I personally, I am not a fan of vegans. I don't think it's good, and it's not healthy, especially because it does impact the bee life. I did try to be a beekeeper for a while. I'm a little too clumsy, so we gave it to a friend. But
That'd be good.
that's just my own personal opinion on the whole matter. So, yeah, it can't be any animal product used. So it's going to be a little rough.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
How
with that
about
cleared up,
What
We're going
about the
into
labor
this-
of the chicken? Like, can they help me still, or
they can help you.
okay? All right.
We will allow that, I suppose. But
Acorn likes to stir sometimes. I don't.
you can also use acorns in your recipe. Those are not animal bride products. I'm a little confused by that, but that's not the point. We are going into this round. 3, 2, 1, go! So let me get bake rolls from you guys at the top here.
All right.
11.
That's 12.
11
12.
Melis. 12 and 12. All right. Everybody's got one action this round, and Melis, you have a floating 2 to add to your stuff or subtract from other people's stuff. What do you guys want to make? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna make like a jackfruit kind of like a jackfruit like filling. Gonna make like a barbecue sandwich and like bake the bread and whatnot.
Okay. Sure.
And so it's gonna be like a vegan bread. I don't know how to make vegan bread, so I'm gonna pretend he knows. Bulford apparently knows all about vegans.
You guys all have the baseline knowledge of how to make stuff in the game, which is why we do bake rolls. So sure, yeah, sounds good.
So that's his idea. He's gonna make like a fun little barbecue sauce.
All right.
And he's also gonna sabotage.
favorite action.
That's what he's got. He's good at Southern charm and making non-accidents look like accidents. So that's what he's gonna do. So this time, when one of the robots kind of tries to zip by him, he's gonna yawn and just clothesline one of them. He's willing to take the psych. I got 41 hit points right now. I can take some psychic damage if that's what it comes down to.
Okay, go ahead and make your. You know what? Make an unarmed strike instead.
Hell yeah!
Because that's what you're going for here more than anything else.
Oh fuck.
All right, hold on. That's a whole different plus to this. That's a little bit better than just a dexterity.
Yeah.
Unarmed strike. Ooh, that's a +6. Let's go.
You got to beat a 13.
I got 17.
17? Okay. Go ahead and roll full damage. You'll take the same amount in psychic damage.
That is A-okay.
As ATV wheels comes whipping around past your station, you just sort of, bam, right in the face.
All right, so, that's gonna hurt. The die is a full 6 + 3, so 9.
9 points as you reach out and just like hammer fist into the face of this thing. Wheels come out from under it, slap flat on the ground. At which point you turn around and you're like, I'm so sorry. You go ahead and help him back up.
I was just yawning. I wasn't thinking. I was just so sorry. I thought you were shorter than this.
The
Get
robot.
down, give him the chair. Give him the chair.
The robot is frozen in place for a second before it kind of like and starts to drive away.
When I pat him, I like actually like softly pat him. Like I didn't mean for it to be that much damage.
As Golden Handlebars looks over you and says, "A friendly reminder that there is no violence allowed within the tent. We understand accidents happen, but please mind your reach, your lodge." And
so do I take 9 psychic
you take 9 points of psychic damage.
Only have so many brain cells.
Roll the D4 to subtract from this guy's bake here.
4.
4. Oh boy.
Feels accurate.
Yep. Melis or Charles, what do you guys want to be doing?
I'm gonna be making vegan dessert buns filled with white chocolate. I'm gonna try and make them look like boiled eggs. So I'm gonna dye the white chocolate on the inside yellow. A vegan chocolate, of course.
Naturally.
And so that's what I'm gonna make. I would like to sabotage Roundy.
Sabotage Roundy, okay.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, like, walk into the pantry, etc. I'm gonna replace his vegan butter with regular butter.
Ooh.
Okay, go ahead and
I'm
make...
I'm also going to add my -2 for my Stellar Baker to that.
To his bake roll, or do you want to add the +2 to whatever you're about to roll?
To his bake roll.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and make your dex check for sabotage then.
Okay, come on. 18. Well,
Go
21.
ahead. Go ahead and roll a d4.
21.
And we're adding +2 to this.
It's a 1, so 3.
Okay, so overall -3 from Roundy. Okay. As Melis, you just sort of, as you're walking past his station, you just sort of like scoop the butter off, and on your way back from the pantry, you just sort of drop the other one back off. No one seems to have noticed. Charles, what do you want to make? What do you want to do?
I don't think Charles has probably ever seen anything vegan in his life before.
Probably not.
Which the closest example I can think of in real life is probably this curry, which I'm not sure if you all remember her, Courtney Marshall, but I lived with her, Bree, and then her fiance, who they're married now, Sue Hell, and he brought home this wonderful baked eggplant curry that was so spicy. So I'm gonna try and replicate it here, I guess.
Sure, sounds good.
So I guess we'll do a cookbook check because I really don't have. I can't do watch. Okay, that's 14 minus 1, 13.
13 is your DC right now, so go ahead and roll a d4 to add to your your cook roll here.
Dang. 3.
3. All right. Plus 3 for Charles. Okay. So we've got as you guys are going ahead and making all of your vegan things, which is a novel concept to at least two of you. Bulford, you're a little fuzzy on it, but you have a better grasp of it than the other two do for sure. Just with living out on the farm, sometimes you got to make do with what you got, and it's supposed to be fancy then. At least that's what your wife tells you. You guys are going through and very sort of like meticulously picking out what you want to do because you're not totally sure what you're doing here. And Bulford, as you go ahead and you get your bake in the oven to make your breads, you come back to it after a little bit and you see that the temperature is about 40 degrees higher than it should be. So you walk it back, and your buns come out a little bit, just like a little extra char on the top. Nothing too bad, but definitely not quite as perfect as you were hoping they were going to be. But let's see, where are we? There we go. You guys all wrap everything up. Bulford plating up you fake pulled pork. It's odd. You're not really sure what to do with it, but you're happy with it ultimately. As
I make an extra sandwich for me to eat while we're.
As Bulford, you kick back and start eating because you finish a couple minutes before everybody else does. The added temperature sped up the bake a little bit, so you got a little extra time. You guys hear the fancy golden mustachioed man say, "And that is time, bakers. I will come around to collect everything, all of your vegan recipes." Goes ahead and scoops everything up and lays it out in front of the judges. And they inspect each one of them individually this time. Usually it's kind of like they go down the line, getting each thing and tasting it as they go. But they inspect each of them first this time. And they stop at one, and they just kind of... And the large bear hits it off of the stage at the front as this like almost like breaded soup kind of thing goes flying off, and then the mustachioed man rolls up, listens to what the stump says, turns around and says, "It seems that we missed the definition of vegan for one of our contestants. I'm so sorry, but you seem to have used regular butter as opposed to vegan butter."
No.
As
Can't be doing that.
the
All the rules.
the roundo rotundo slumps a little bit, just sort of like into his form. He's kind of like Baymax from Big Hero 6. He just like just deflates a little bit and then goes. He's not made of balloon, but he's just like that shape.
Yeah.
No, I love
Man, I
it.
thought I provided a pretty dang good definition of what vegan was, and no
As-
animal byproducts. Come on, man.
Yeah, you gotta
We're
be
good,
respectful
we're
when people have dietary restrictions. You never know. There might be an allergy to something.
Right, as long as it's like their bodies are like revolting and it's not their fault. They're
Yeah,
just doing it because they're trying to be fancy. Ugh.
no time
As
for that.
Melis's sabotage reduced him to 0,
Yes.
making him unable to provide a bake that
Just
fit
zeroing
the
out the
parameters.
competition.
Pretty much. And for now, the second time, we have a stellar baker over there in our good friend that I simply cannot understand for the most part. Charles, the judges adored your eggplant. And, well, Again, there's none of it left. That's kind of going to be a theme here. I hope you understand. So,
Yeah.
as ever,
Thank you,
no
thank you.
time to sit and wait on that one as we move forward into our 8th round. Bulford, you might kick yourself a little bit for this one. It is the Danish Round.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm sorry. It's just the way the biscuit crumbles. That sounds way worse in this accent as opposed to the gross, more Americanized accent that you all are using.
Man, I gotta make a new kind of Danish.
New Danishes for Bulford, new Danishes for everyone. Get your brains working. It's time to bake. So let me get some bake rolls from everybody first thing.
11.
11 for Melis.
Again.
Oh, natural 20!
20 for Bulford.
7.
Thank you, squishy dice.
7. Squish.
Squish, squish.
All right. So,
Gingy, what did you
Bulford.
get again?
7.
Okay, alright.
Oh, all right.
Bulford, you got a pair of actions. It is the three of you facing off against our handlebarred face friend and the ATV wheeled robot that Bulford has cold cocked. What is it that you guys would like to do? And make, really.
I'm ready to go because I already have my plan.
Go for it.
Go.
Let's do
Alright.
it.
So to pay homage to the dice that gave me a natural 20, I'm gonna make another. We're gonna go another Danish again, a little cheese Danish, but I'm gonna make the outside a little bit like darker, kind of like a. So in my mind, how this is working. So inside, I'm gonna color the inside like a rainbow,
Sure.
and then I'm gonna draw. It's gonna be poorly done, and I know it's gonna be poorly done.
Great.
He's not an artist. He's gonna draw a little bull head, and then there's gonna be a little heart in the middle, and then he's gonna draw a little bear face. And it's because the bull's his son and the bear is his husband, so in honor of them. So
Okay.
and so it's gonna be like the outside is gonna be darker and it's gonna kind of match the bear's fur or whatever.
Sure.
That's gonna be his Danish this time.
Okay, great.
Oh,
And then, so I can't sabotage this round. I already cold clocked and took 9 points of psychic damage. So, who had the lower roll? Was it Charles? Did you say-
Charles had the lower one, yeah.
I'm gonna help.
Help
I'm gonna
Charles.
help as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to. I guess I'll watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then, how many robots do we have left? Just the ATV boy?
ATV boy and the one with the handlebars on his face. That we have largely ignored so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for him.
Handlebars? Okay.
I'm afraid I might accidentally kill the ATV one, honestly. I'm gonna walk up the handlebars. And the idea is that I'm gonna make a -2 to him, and my idea for doing that is I'm gonna kind of look down at his stuff and make sure that my horn just is right under the handlebar and hit it up to knock him off.
You do not have the floating -2 right now.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Charles's.
That's Charles. Never mind.
All right, but you're
I
gonna
forgot.
you're gonna go ahead and watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch him.
All right. Okay.
Because we haven't really messed with him all that much.
He's just sort of cruising.
He's
in the
just
background
chilling.
right now.
So watching.
Your DC has gone up to 14 on this round.
Nope.
What'd you get?
Nope. I got 3.
All right. You rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't want to roll a 1, so that bumps it to a D6. So go ahead and roll your D4 that we're going to take away from yours.
That's only a 1.
Okay, -1. All right, as Wolford, you take a cue from Handlebars over there, and then you realize that he's not making a cheese Danish, and so you've added a couple of wrong things real quick, so you gotta like swoop them out and just try and fix it on the fly. Melis and Charles, what are you guys doing? What are you making? What do you wanna do?
I'm gonna make a Danish with a kite shape.
Okay.
So I'll do like the folds over, and then I'm gonna trace out in the cream filling a little feather.
Okay.
Shape.
Very nice.
And I guess I will take the I'll take the watch action, just looking around. And since Charles has been doing so well, I'm gonna look over at Charles and see if I can get any insight into what he's doing, and then I'll look at Bulford since he already made Danish, just like, be like, what are you doing? So yeah, that's what I will do.
I'll try to make sure to like move out of the way when my friends are looking, so they can actually see.
Appreciate it.
Lean back a little bit.
That is a 14.
That does succeed. So go ahead and roll your d4.
Rolled into my lap. 1.
All right. Sounds good. As you sort of take cues from your two friends, you go ahead and make up lovely little feathered danishes. Charles, what you got for me, buddy? You have advantage on what you decide.
Okay. Charles probably has heard of like just the pastry itself, but probably doesn't know a whole lot about the fillings, just because probably, to be honest with you, doesn't get a lot of fruit in his diet, generally speaking. But and this may be a stretch, but bear with me. I feel like he may have like talked to like a alligator that may have talked to another alligator that may have talked to like a Greenland shark or something, or somebody like found this old recipe. He's just gonna sit there trying to remember what the third-hand information he got was, and I guess I'm gonna go for Lombardy custard as a filling.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. What action do you want to take for that?
Is that a cookbook, a watch, or I don't know?
It'd be based on that description. It'd be cookbook, but if you want to try something else for your actual action, you can do that too.
I don't know. I guess they'll watch. I guess it would be a cookbook, and I've got advantage. Yeah, we'll go with cookbook.
And you have your +2 or minus.
You do have a floating +2 that you can add to your own roll.
Oh wait, did I take cookbook last action?
I don't remember. Gonna be honest with you. So I've got a lot of numbers written down on this page next to me. So
I think I did. I'll just go with watch then.
Okay.
That's a 16 or on top. 11. So 16 plus 5, 21.
More than enough. Go ahead and roll your d4 to add to yours as you as you take a look over at what Melis is doing and she's taking a look at what you're doing. You guys kind of like.
Yeah.
I like point towards Bulford. You should watch Bulford. He actually knows.
Move out of the way again.
And Bulford, you move out of the way and kind of like lift up the plate to show Charles what you're doing.
That's a 4. And then, what does that put me at? That puts me at 11. So I can put myself at a +2, which will bring me up to 13, which still doesn't bring me to the thing, but that might get me close enough that I don't get eliminated. Yeah, we'll do +2.
Okay. Puts you at a 13. Okay. As you guys are almost working as a team on this one, making similar treats all up and down your benches here. The little buggy robots have been clearing off and clearing out benches, so there is plenty of room now for you guys to spread out and sort of do your own thing. So you can really sort of like set up across and make it less obvious that you're clearly working together. As you go ahead and you guys have sort of like all gathered around one little table and are making you designs in the Danish as you go. You hear the voice go, "And that will be time. Please step away from your bakes, and I will come around to collect all of them." Melis, you have like just finished off the last little bit of the feather. Charles, you've got what you were trying to make an alligator head in the middle of the Danish. It's more of a green blob right now, but you know what? You think it'll probably work. Comes, scoops everything up, lays it out in front, and they go down the line, tasting and checking each one of them before the large bear stops at the end one and sort of looks down at it and just like looks back up at Bulford and then just inhales the entire thing, like all of the Danish off the plate, and the stump just sort of like turns and looks at the bear. And if you could see a stump shrug, it would shrug here, just a little, like the whole thing just sort of like.
So like I had an extra one because I kept some. I've just been like eating as we go, and I'll kind of just slide one over towards the stump because I wasn't quite sure if it got me.
He definitely didn't. It makes its way into his face hole. Then
and I munch on one as well.
Very well. Unfortunately, this uncomfortable-looking blob in the middle here is what we need to eliminate. I am so sorry. I think you might have had a screw knock loose or something when you hit the ground earlier. But I have to ask you to leave the tent now. And the ATV one just sort of like twitching as it goes. Leaves the tent.
Permanent damage.
Yep. It will never be the same. And our good friend, now very familiar with the pedestal of Stella Baker, Bulford, I think you may have won Miss Berry over with your declaration of love on your Danish.
Wait. Wait a minute. Hold up there.
But as ever, we have no time to wait. Next up is one of the most complicated rounds that we do, our Patisserie Round.
Oh man, that's all tiny and fiddly, isn't it?
It sure is. That's what makes it difficult and fun for us to enjoy. You all have a good couple of hours here. Go! Bulford, you just realized what you did, didn't you?
I sure did.
I think it's great. Maybe you can win a date at the end.
I mean,
all right.
The wife and I do have an open marriage and all that, but I mean,
maybe that was the thing. You know, she sent you a list of things to bring back. Maybe she wanted a bear too.
Well, you know, I might have to write her a letter.
Amazing. All right, bake rolls from everybody. On the second to last round, it's just you guys in handlebars now. Who has just sort of existed this whole time.
Real quick, this is a thing on real life Gingy being done. What is a patisserie?
I'm actually looking it up right now.
Yeah.
I couldn't spell it right.
Patisserie is like...
Oh, I misspelled it so badly.
It's like the little teeny tiny pastries and little teeny tiny cakes.
Like a macaron?
Like a macaron. Like imagine what you would see in like a French bakery window.
Oh,
and just those little like macaron and
fancy things.
Little tiny cakes, madeleines and stuff. Petit four.
Oh, okay.
Those little cakes.
Okay.
Think little cookies and you're good.
Little
doesn't
tiny.
really matter.
You gotta make mini things.
Little, yeah, there you go.
Doesn't really matter because the bake roll for Charles is a 1.
Ooh, boy.
No. And I got a 7.
Okay.
Wolford, it's all on you.
What do you got?
I got 17. What the hell, guys?
Well, Wolford, you get 2 actions this round. You've got... It's
Nice.
just you guys in handlebars. You are in the second to last round. What do you guys want to make, and what do you want to do?
Can I help Charles in any way? I know a one's basically a failure on a bake roll, but like something.
I mean,
got that
as long
too.
as he's got more than 1 at the end of it, he produces some kind of bake.
Okay, I'm helping.
Or he's got
help
1 or
Charles.
more. If he's got more than 0, if he's got 1 or more, there is
Yeah.
some kind of bake that is delivered at the end.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna help Charles.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna sabotage handlebars.
Okay.
My
Sounds
favorite
good.
action. My favorite action when I get it. And since I am stellar, I'm gonna add that -2.
Okay.
I had forgotten that like the previous Danish round, or not previous, the previous time I made Danish, I was Star Baker then,
Yeah.
so I got him confused. But yeah, I'm gonna sabotage this boy. and the -2.
Okay.
Um,
What do you want to do to sabotage him?
what I was kind of describing last time. I'm gonna put my
Okay.
horns up, get like mildly caught, but then slide off at the end.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and
So
make
he just
your
dumps.
dex check.
Oh, baby! That is a 22.
That
Whew.
definitely works.
Hell yeah.
Is that a natural 20 on the die or a 19?
Unfortunately, it was a 19.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your d4. And then add
Debates
2 to
about
that.
taking a few levels in fighters so that way I can crit on a 19 too. That's 4.
4 plus 2, or you rolled a 2 and you added 2 to it?
Oh, sorry. That is 6.
6, Jesus. Okay.
Forgot about the 2, so subtract 6 from that. Boy.
Okay. So you come up and you slide up next to Handlebars, who turns and like the handlebars that stick way off of his face like swing around every time he turns, and they like rattle and shake a little bit, like they're not totally connected to his face the right way. Like the bolt is just a little loose on it.
Oh no.
But you duck under as he turns towards you, and as you start to talk to him and you come back up, you hook your horn on like the arm of him and just sort of like pull him up out of the way as he's trying to like pour a very specific amount of flour into a bowl, and it just like
Oh, my
everywhere.
bad, friend. I'm so sorry. And I'll like grab the little like handle thing and just lift him up higher before I put him down.
Yep, and you pick him clear up off the ground because you're already like a foot taller than these guys are. Just clear up off the ground and set back down. And when he turns back to look at his station, everything is covered in flour. He dropped the bag that he was holding after you picked him up, so there's just like a dumped over bowl spewed everywhere. Like, guy's got a hard reset at best right now. He's not doing great after that. Melis and Charles, what do you guys want to do?
Quick
Oh,
thing
wait,
for
yeah.
my bake, what I'm
Right,
making,
what do you wanna
since
make?
I'm gonna, since I have already accidentally made a love declaration to Miss Mary
To the
Bear,
bear.
when my idea was just to celebrate my son and his husband. Clear dismiss. No thought, head empty. I'm gonna make macarons, but I'm gonna make them in like kind of like a bear shape, like a bear head shape, like little
Okay.
teddy bears. I'm just gonna fucking roll with it now.
Hell yeah. All
Great. Sounds good. Melis, what do you want to be doing?
Okay, I'm gonna make little shoe buns, but I'm gonna finagle them so they're in the shape of roosters, instead of like shoe buns that are swans.
Right.
And then they're roosters. I'm gonna try and I guess I'll try and attempt some sugar work to make like a big plumy tail, but
Sure.
I've never done it before, so it does not go very well. So that's not a great
Okay.
thing. Let's see. I can't sabotage handlebars.
Correct.
He's already been sabotaged. So, and Charles has already been helped. So I guess I will take the cookbook action.
Okay, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
I remember, Grandpa talking about, how to make sugar, and caramel and sugar work, but I've never done it, so I'm gonna try. But that is a 4, so it really doesn't go well.
Go ahead and roll a d4. Subtract that from your total.
Okay, it's only 1.
Okay. Charles, what would you like to do?
Well, so I feel like with it being a natural 1, everybody hearing that on mine goes to like something sweet. Charles is going to make shrimp puff pastry instead.
All right.
Amazing.
Sounds good.
So yeah, that's what he's gonna go for here. And I guess he's gonna try and like make them like in little I don't know what to call, like little cake designs, little circle ones like that.
Okay.
And then
good.
garnish them a little bit on top. But yeah, that's what he's gonna go for. So I guess he's gonna watch and see exactly if anybody else has had this idea. And
All
I
right.
get advantage, right?
You have advantage.
Okay, first one's 2.
Oh.
First one's a 17. Or second one's a 17. And Is it just a flat roll, or what is it? No, it's
It'd be wisdom, but 17 is more than enough. So go ahead and roll a d4 and add that to
Okay.
your bake roll. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh,
3.
3? All right.
Okay. Okay.
So, Malice, as you're making your little shoe guys here, you are going through, and Acorn keeps like poking at it and is like distracting you and trying to
stop
it's
that.
making it more difficult than it needs to be. And you notice that Charles is looking over at you, like desperately trying to figure out what to do right now, as he's got just like a bag of shrimp. Just-
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Just a bowl full of like flour.
Mix them.
Charles goes up and starts mixing up his shrimp. Time flies by during this round. You guys are not sure what's going on. And at the end of it, as you guys hear the voice once again ring out, "That is time, bakers. Please step back and, for the last time before our final round, slide your bakes to the end of your bench." Wilfred, you look down at your bench, and you see a different kind of flavoring than you were expecting sitting on your bench. However, it seems like you've mixed it in, and you have some in your pocket, and you try one, and it's better than you were expecting it to be. Because
Oh.
in Handlebars trying to slide you an extra ingredient to screw you up, you picked one that complemented it instead. Our mustachioed friend comes by, picks everything up, and goes and drops it off at the front. And for the third time this competition, there are one too few plates sitting up on the bench, as Handlebars has a sad mess just sitting in the middle of his station. And the mustachioed man turns and says, "I'm so sorry. I'll have to ask you to please exit the tent." And Handlebars, and as he makes his way out of the tent, the handlebars on his face get like kind of stuck on the tent flap, and he gets like jerks his way out. And the small stump and the bear go up and down, and they try everything. And for now, the second round in a row, the bear just sort of like stops at Bulford's dish, looks at it, looks up, and just like tongue like wraps around the stuff and just like sucks it down her gullet.
I slide and one of the extra bears to the stump so he can try.
Well, I think it is pretty easy to see who our stellar baker that round was. Congratulations again, Bulford.
Good job.
My wife taught me well.
I am pleased to say that you three latecomers have made it into the final round. Congratulations. Did not expect the three of you to wander in and, well, make it all the way here. So, we are in our last round now. You are welcome to make anything you like, so long as it is baked and it is impressive. Those are the two rules, aside from the two rules of the tent. Whenever you're ready, begin.
All right,
So
y'all.
let's get
Best of luck.
let's get some bake rolls from you guys. I expected one of you guys to go out before the first or the last round here.
I thought it was it last round.
I
was
thought it
not
was going to be
doing well
me
there
at
for
some
a
point,
long
and the dice have decided that Bulford can cook.
Apparently.
Bake. I went in here thinking he knew nothing. I guess I was wrong. I didn't
What do
know
we
my own
got?
character. I got 15.
15 for Bulford. Was that 15 for Charles too?
Yeah.
All right.
13.
Okay. Charles and Wolford, you guys have 2 actions. Wolford, you've got a floating 2. What do you guys want to make? What do you want to do in this final round here? It is up
I'm gonna
to
go
you.
full on.
What do you want to do? No. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go full bourbon and Toulouse and make a nice jambalaya with some baked butter bread. It's just the butter on it is so obvious that you can see it. It's delicious. You can use it to scoop up all the juice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. What actions do you want to take, Charles?
First off, because Charles is a good sport, he's gonna go out and he's gonna help Wolford because he doesn't really care who wins. He just wants some good food out.
Fair enough.
And then
yeah.
Cookbook, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, I rolled a 15. That's a -1, so 14.
That does not make it, as the last round has a DC of 15. So go ahead and roll a
Yeah.
d4, and we will subtract that from yours.
So what?
no.
All right.
So not too bad.
No. Wolford or Mellis, what do you guys want to make? What do you want to do?
Bulford's gonna make a cake. And he's gonna make a. He's gonna try his hand at. So he's not good at the tiny decoration, but what he is good at is he's good at carving. He works with leather. He works with wood. He's good at all kinds of stuff like that. So he's gonna try to make a giant cake, and carve out. He's gonna try to carve out three individuals. He's gonna try to carve out himself, his wife, and Miss Mary Berry.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
And they're gonna be like kind of like leaning on each other, like
Well,
really,
sure,
like,
yeah.
cute scene
Yeah.
or whatever. That's gonna be his attempt.
Okay.
He's gonna try to make the glasses like sugar out of like sugar, like
Yeah.
whatever. And so his action is gonna be help. He's gonna help Mellis out.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're all about being helpful and good here.
For sure.
And then for my second action of non-sensory, I actually want to do a quick wisdom check around anything else like going on in the tent. Like, do I notice anything in the area where all the robots went? Do I notice anything like strange or
Make a
different now that
perception
there's just us?
Make a
Is
perception
there a
check.
massive fight between robots and mice going on outside right now?
Yeah, where are the mice?
Also, I want to know more about this cage and like why they're in the cage.
Okay.
If I can get that, it's a wisdom. No, it is a
Perception.
wisdom. Perception.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. What the hell's my perception? Ooh, it's a +4, 16.
Okay. Looking around, you see that the rest of the contestants that have been eliminated so far, along with a bunch of people or other robots that you don't really recognize, you can see are sort of lined up outside of the tent, just sort of like looking in through like small windows near the top, like just the clear like plastic film ones.
Yeah.
There's the weirdest thing about it being in here now that everybody else is gone is that it's a lot quieter because there's a lot less of the like whirring and clicking of the robots doing stuff. It has gotten progressively quieter as you've gone on. And taking a pass like near the cage to get a better view of apparently your new lady love, you notice like the bars of the cage are made out of a similar metal to like all of the industrial machinery and stuff that you've seen here, that like the robots were made out of, that the chains are sort of like built on, and these massive pipes that are running like through the city are made out of. And it seems as you pass it, you hear a very faint like sound, like almost like a buzzing noise, as you just like take a quick pass past it.
Is there like a lock on it that I see?
There doesn't seem to be a door or a lock or anything. It's just like 4 walls and a top bolted to the stage floor.
Okay.
How do they get the bakes? through
How-
the stage? Is it just wide enough?
It's wide enough for them to like be able to reach through and stuff.
Gotcha.
The stage floor is just like a wooden floor.
It is carpeted, but yes, it's just like a flat floor.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Melis.
So I'm gonna
What do you
make a 3-tiered quiche. Essentially, 3 quiches, but then on like little pedestals.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's gonna be
nice.
it's gonna be largely so the bottom will be savory, but the top 2 will be dessert quiches.
Sure.
With various flavors. The top one's having a lot of fresh fruit on it. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Great.
And I will take the watch action.
Okay.
And I will watch. Bulford has been the star of this show, so I'm just gonna watch and be like, oh,
The surprise star.
cool. Yeah, exactly. So yes, I will do that.
All right. Go ahead and make it with advantage because you have the help action from Bulford.
Yes. That is a 19.
19. Go ahead and roll your d4.
Oh, it's been only rolling ones on my d4.
Aw.
1.
Okay. So, we come to the final round. You guys very openly now working as like a team unit here, like giving each other a hand here and there, bouncing back and forth between the stuff. Bulford, at one point you need both of them to help you like hold up this awkward like side of cake that's just kind of hanging there as you like carve through it and carve off of it. You guys, it's a lot less like high intensity than when you were surrounded by robots who were doing the same thing as you. And as you're making your way through, you guys have gotten to a really good rhythm over the last honestly, 12 plus hours of just constant baking in a row. Because even in fantasy, stuff needs time to bake. You guys all wrap up and get your stuff out to the end of your counters well ahead of time because you're all giving each other active hands. And the Mr. Man with the golden stash says, "Oh, it seems we're all done. All right, well, that will be the end of this round then. Let's have each of you bring your individual dishes up. I don't want to be in charge of carrying these in case I fall for the first time ever. So you guys go ahead and you bring your 3 different dishes up, and they make passes back and forth between all of them, trying each of them. You guys are invited to partake in yours as you're sitting there, try all of the different ones, and they are all very, very closely matched. Before eventually the bear turns and stops at the one in the middle and just pushes forward the cake sculpture of 2 large cow people and a bear. And the golden handlebar mustachio man says, well, congratulations to Bulford. You have been a standout through this whole competition. The sides of the tent roll up, and the robots standing outside are mechanically awkward clacking.
Bulford will take his hat off. Oh, thank you kindly, ma'am. I really appreciate it. Y'all are too kind.
Hell yeah.
We are so happy to have you compete, and we do hope that you will make your way back down our way soon enough. Now, for your prize, you will receive this. And he turns around and he takes out of a small box that has just kind of been sitting on the stage, just a glass bowl, and hands it to you. Congratulations.
What do I pull out the menu? Does it
It's just a bowl.
It's just a bowl. Just a glass bowl.
Well, thank you kindly. I will
You are welcome.
treasure it forever.
Good. And now that we have finished an actual round of this bake-off, finally, Odd Judges would like to talk to you. And you see the cage, like, buckles a little bit and begins to shake, and it and lifts up and starts to float away as the small stump and the bear look at each other and very excitedly start to come forward. And the bear, as she takes a couple of steps forward towards you, begins to, in a way that has become familiar to you, morphs down into a small little old gnomish woman with the same glasses on her face. She says, "Thank you. We've been in that cage for far too long. My name is Mary Barry. This is Paul Hollywood. Congratulations on winning the Great Gnomish Bake Off." And that is where we're going to end this week.
It just awkwardly holds this glass
Just holding the
bowl.
glass bowl. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Tune in next week to see what happens next with these guys. We're getting there.
That was amazing.
We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Good
Oh my
work, guys.
God.